using this session. Some of you might be wondering, where can I find the past sessions, workshops? I think in the email, we also have given you the links to refer to. And I think Suyen has kindly helped us to put it in the chat as well. So you can refer to it later on after this session. These are the additional files that we'll be utilizing for this session on the additional R packages as well. Okay. So common question we get, will this session be recorded? Yes, it will be recorded. By default, you are muted. However, if you have any burning questions along the way, if you want to bring it up, feel free to unmute yourselves. Or at the end of the session, we will try to address some of these questions that you might have, or probably you can drop us an email. And yes, you can actually use the chat function, as most of us are very comfortable with using already. And at the end of this session, we will also have a survey carried out. So feel free to give us your feedback. And some of the pictures, and for recording purposes, we'd like to let you know that we have this ongoing, and it will be recorded. We will be uploading these recordings over the NUS secured server. Okay, so basically we want to have a sense of whether you have actually downloaded the R software. So maybe what you can do is you go to polliv.com/mag. You can actually use your mobile phone. I pretty much I like to use the mobile phone because it's very quick. You can go to the link here. I'm seeing actually some of the responses coming in already. So it's polliv.com/mag. We'd like to know whether have you actually downloaded R. So it gives us a good sensing whether we are all on the same page, and we can get ready and go ahead and start. Okay, let me see the responses then. Right, okay, we've got 100%. Great. Taking, I think, is something good for us to know. Yeah. Okay, so basically, we'd like to know where are you from, which department. That help us to give us a good sense of which are the departments that are using R very frequently. We have our folks from FOS, Science, Duke, LKYSPP, from Medicine as well. Yeah, thank you for coming in. Business, okay, yes, and all over engineering, okay, cons, okay, and a lot from Science. So welcome in, and then let's see. So what is your role in your department? Okay, are you a graduate student, faculty, researcher? Okay. Oh, wow, we have quite an even spread, almost an even spread. So 30% researcher, graduate student. Okay, something good for us to know and note. Okay, we hope this session will be informative for you as you beef up your R skills with Dr. Tan. All right, so we would like to know also, have you actually attended any of the sessions? Wow, we have very good fans here who have attended all three sessions. Okay, okay, we have only about 11% who have not attended any, which is also good, because you can actually review the videos later on after this session if you want to do some catch up, based on the other sessions. Okay, so we have actually quite a number of them who have attended. 30% of you have attended all three sessions. Okay, great. Thank you. Well, so I'm not going to take up more time. I think that those slides were really for us to get to know you better, especially in this setting that we can't see your response or any body language cue. And today we have Dr. Tan. I can't take Kiang. I think he insisted. I know it's Teck Kiang. Yeah, we know each other, for quite a while, and we have been working on projects as well. So I really thank him for a lot of effort and time being put in to craft all these workshops. I think it's really we really benefit a lot from it. Okay, Teck Kiang, thank you so much. And he is from ALSET, from Applied Learning Sciences and Educational Technology. He's a research fellow. And he works on R, I think, definitely every day. He has a couple of projects in his under his wing also. And something very special, that talented, he plays the erhu. So I think, yeah, I think there's some fun fact about him. Okay, so without further ado, I'll pass over the time to Teck Kiang. Over to you.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
I'll stop my share, and you can take over the screen.
Yes.
Yes, you are seeing your screen now.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Matt, for the
No problem.
yeah. Yes. I think you have received the installation file. I think I shall go very quickly on these slides. Presume that you already installed all the add-on packages. Yeah, and once you have the R files, I think I better turn on the pen. Oh no,
Your laser pointer, right?
the laser pointer. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah, we are seeing it.
now,
Thank you.
now I know how to do this. Yeah, so you have the icons, you click on, you go into R. So you open script and then download the file that is from this website that downloaded. You'll be able to get this R file. Which consists of the 10 add-on packages here. So either you press Ctrl A to highlight the files and then press Ctrl R to execute, then you start downloading. If you have not, then while we're going through the slide, you can just let it run, let these 10 files installed. So we can so that you can use these R files for the session. Yeah. Alternatively, you can just put edit and then you put run all, and you'll be able to run the file as well. So either Control A, then followed by Control R, or just go to edit file and then run all. Right. The 10 files are listed in the tables here. The ggplot2 is the one that you are focusing on to generate the graphics, and the dplyr is by the same author that written the add-on programs on data manipulations. They call it the grammar of data manipulation. 4cat is the tool for working with categorical variables. We'll use this in one of the graphical illustration. And the G-code book is the data we are going to use that's written. The book is referred to, the name of the book is R Graphics Cookbook. And ggduck is an add-on package on ggplot themes. And this one is a GUI that can be used to construct our graph without really, we can start with simple syntax, and then we can use this GUI to generate the graph. And the GG themes and the last two, the TV theme and the HRBR themes is the other another 3 themes packages that we're going through for today's session. And the grid extra is the grid graphics that enable us to produce more than one graph in a graphical output. Yeah. So briefly, we are going to cover these 5 topics. First, we introduce what is ggplot theme system, which is the focus for today. And then we go on to take a look at the ggplot themes that's provided by the package ggplot2. And we're saying that we introduce 4 themes that is based on ggplot. It is add-on themes that is supporting the ggplot package. There are GG themes, ggduck, and the TVs as well. Yeah. So we illustrate 2 graphical with more syntax to give a better graphical output. First is using ggduck to plot a bar chart, and the other one is to produce an area chart using the TV themes. And we'll move on to saying that in fact you can create your own theme as well, not necessarily the theme that's provided by, let's say, the one that is in ggplot, or the add-on themes that is provided to extend the ggplot themes. And last, we will go through the package called GG Theme Axis, which is the GUI versions of to create the themes. Yeah. So what is ggplot2 themes? It is a predefined function for a set of standard graphical specification is already specified by the function. So this specification includes, let's say, the text. I did the text a bit, so it's a bit different from the one that you receive in the PDF file. Yeah? So this specification of the theme is they specify what is the text font size and the font type as well. And also the background plot, the color and their positioning, and also the panel background of the color and positioning. They also specify the grid lines or no grid lines is sometimes for the theme, for the major and the minor grid size, about their colors and the size, and also about the legend position as well, and some other things. So in short, it is a predefined function. You just need to specify one line of syntax to read in the themes, and then you produce a predefined type of graphical outputs. So basically, this is what the themes for. And there are 9 themes in ggplot2. That means when you read in the ggplot2, you said library ggplot, execute it, we'll get these 9 themes if you want to specify using the themes. Yeah. So the theme gray is the one with gray background and white grid lines. And the BW, they advocate that it's good for projectors. And some other like light draw, the lights, dark is turning a black, more white color background to a darker background. And let's say the minimal is a minimalistic theme with no background annotations. And let's say the void one is a complete empty themes. We'll take a look at what are the themes using a scatter plot, so you can know that how it look like. So you can use the theme if you want, you prefer to for a certain themes that you prefer to. Yeah. So in short, that these themes are a predefined colors, font size, legend, position, and so on. So you can use them for your graphical output. Let's take a look at using one of the data file that is called MPG. This MPG is a data set, is a data file, a data frame that is from the package ggplot2. So once you load ggplot2, you'll get this MPG. It's just like when you load into R, you'll get a set of data sets. When you look the package ggplot, MPG is one of the data sets that is already inbuilt into this particular library. This MPG is recording the fuel economics data from 1990 to 2008 for 38 popular models of cars. These are the 11 variables that is inside this data frame called MPG. We are going to use 3 of the variables here. The engine displacement in liter, what is the highway mile per gallon, and the type of cars, which the variable name is called class. So this is a file structure of this data set. We have 234 observations recorded here. And this shows the first 10 observation and the last 10 observation by issuing this R syntax. So by saying the MPG, you read the first to 10, or here is 225 to 234, the last 10. Then display these 3 variables here, which is the red color highlighted variables here. If we do not include this, then you display all the variables. Yeah, so the first plot for generating the scatter plot of using this data frame MPG is to system what is in the x-axis and what is in the y-axis. So there's x and there's a y, which is using the geopod to produce the scatter plot. And the title is mile by engine displacement is displayed here. The subtitle is following after the title. And the caption is saying that where we get the source is here. And the x and the y-axis is the labels is specified in the lab functions here. Yeah? So let us go to the R programs to generate this. Then we back to the slides to take a look at assume that the installation is there, so we just hide here. Yeah. One of the strategy of using the R program is we load all the library we want. Just highlight and press Ctrl R. So there's one way is saying that, oh, I know that these are the libraries that we want. We just load them beforehand so that we know that all these library will be loaded. So we no need to specify the library that we're going to use in the later part of the programs. This is one way of doing it.
Sorry, Kiang.
Yes.
Would you like to tell them where this file is on the right console? Yeah, just in case you're looking for this.
Oh.
Ah.
You see, okay, let's see. When the installation files, these are the add-on packages. When we say install, let's say when we say install ggplot2 here, we execute this. The ggplot2 will be loaded into our computer. And the same go for the rest of these nice add-on packages. So these are all add-on packages. That means when we load into R, these are the base. So we have to load in the add-on packages in order to use a function in these packages. So today we are going through all these packages in this session. So there are about 17,000 packages there. So today I'm using 10 of them for this session. Yeah, so after we have installed all these packages will be inside the PC that you have, the notebooks that you have. So when you want to use them, then we have to call in the library. So these are the functions to call in the library. That means we want to use ggplot2, we want to use grip extra, we want to use TV team. Then later part of the program, we want to use the TV teams. Those functions that we specified that is with inside this particular add-on package. Then we can use the function. So that's to say, we have to load the library first before we use the function in this add-on package. So one way of doing it is we know that we want to use these 10 packages. We can just load them, or we just execute them. By say executing, we means that here we just highlight and press Ctrl R. Then we will load these add-on packages into the current R session. So how we know that it is executed? Once we highlight here, when we highlight it and then we press Ctrl R, then it executed. It's attached package R. Yeah, so we know the R is attached. Yeah? But sometimes the package doesn't show this syntax. So once they have no error message come out, we assume that it's okay, it's loaded, right? So until the TV is attached packages, so the following will be masked from this. That's to say, if because let's say this package TV teams and the HRBR teams use the same function called import roboter condense. So he's saying that if we load in here but execute the TV team after these teams, then whatever we want to use the TV team for this import, we'll be using the TV teams and not the previous one that we loaded. Yeah, so that's why if they start using the same function, the latest that you loaded is a function they're going to use. So normally, the author will built in this team will tell you that these are the functions that found in the previous one that's loaded first. But the second one we loaded TV teams, that these two functions will be using the latest one, not the previous one. So the aim of doing this is just to say that we load everything and then we just execute. But when we are doing the actual programming, we might just, during the process, then we just load them, right? By the same as I said, ggplot, we want to do it, we just load it. then we execute this because MPG is inside ggplot. Then later on, we want to use grep extra, then we execute this. And this statement will appear in the later part. That is also fine, right? Yeah. So let's execute this. So because MPG is inside ggplot2, so we only can execute str, stand for the structure of MPG, only if we execute the library ggplot2. Otherwise, we can't get MPG, right?
Yeah, sorry, Kiang. There are some error messages that is brought up in the chat. Would you like to have a look at the chat to see the string of error that is popping up?
Okay, let me take a look at
Yeah.
the chat. Is it? Where can I get the chat? Chat. Should I stop the sharing? Is it?
I think it's okay. Yeah.
Check. No. Let's check. Yes. Yes. Library this error package or name field. Oh, in this for DDR, able to load share object.
So I think there are a lot of errors that come up for different people. So
yeah, if you have these errors, let's see. Error package or namespace load field for this. Unable to load shared object. Yeah. One way is you reload, you quit from R, then comes in and then reload it, reinstall in, So if it's a fail, then copy this, the syntax here and Google it to see what actually is something wrong.
yeah, so likewise, earlier on when Matthias or no, somebody else has problems with the error package also, sometimes you can actually copy your error and then Google it and see what are some of the solutions that people proposed. Yeah, so different devices have different issues.
Yeah, here it seems that is could be installation is not probably carried out. That's why they can't find this particular package. Could be the issues here. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we execute this. So we'll get the first output here. That is to show a scatter plot using the MPG for ggplot. If the error message just now is not on ggplot. If you have the ggplot, you should able to execute this. Right? Then we go on to execute the team. Here. You should be able to get this. So that's to say the first four B1 set the basic syntax to execute this. Then the B2 add on the B1 to change to the team called team GRAY. So they change the default team to team GRAY. They also the subtitle for the first one is called the default team. Then later on, when we reissue the subtitle to team gray, then you overwrite the previous subtitle. So this is the default team generated by the first block of the syntax here. because the subtitle is default theme. So it printed as default theme here. So when later on we execute this B2, it said the subtitle is called theme gray, then you change this to theme gray, but others are not changed. But the theme they use for this is now theme gray. Yeah. So the same thing, if we specify the theme BW, which is the BW here, and it take on all the syntax from B1. So all the labels, all the title, subtitle, all this will not be changed. But now they take on the theme BW. So this is a BW, but it's different from the output here because you can see the gray background here, and there's a black and white background here, right? So this is how it works here. And then when we use the grid arrange, we include B1, B2, B3, and B4, which is B1, B2, B3, and B4, right? So you can continue to B5 to B8, and then press Ctrl R. Then you'll get another 4 themes here. Then you go on to B9 and B10. Then you execute, you get another 2 themes here. Oh, yeah, so this is how it works. Let's go back to the slides after you see how it is being executed, right? So this is one way of using that is useful if you have a base graph that you want to anchor on, and then subsequently you have to change something to add on to it. Yeah, so here it's saying that B1 store all this information and then put in the object called B1. That's to say that we generate X and Y variables with a scatter plot that's defined in ggplot here. Then the color statement is saying that it'll be separated by the scatter plot will be separated in colors, in different colors with the class variable, which is the type of cars. So in this, there are actually the class classes list some of the things here, like 2-seater car, compact car, pickup car, minivans. So when we take a look at this, is the labels will show the different colors here, and then those cars that belong to the same, those dots that belong to the same cars. Let's say here is pickup. Pickup is painted in blue colors, light blue colors. So those in the light blue colors here are belong to the pickup cars. Yeah? So back to the syntax. That's to say that we're not only plotting a scatter plot with X and Y as it's specified, we also want to differentiate the scatter point by the type of cars. And this type of cars is colored, with using the different colors to represent them. And then the size is the size of the scatter point. So we can increase the size to 3, so you can see that the output, the size is bigger. Then alpha is controlling the colors. So if you put an alpha, you control the brightness of the colors. And then the rest is what we have just controlled. And the additional here is color is equal to car class. When we specify X, Y here, so we want to change the label for X, Y. We specify in the label X change to this, Y change to this, instead of having X is DISPL and HWL. So we change the exit here. So when you change the car, you can see that the label is car class, but it's different from the default one. Oh, there's no default. Yeah. When we say color is equal to car class, we change the label to this. Instead of class here, which is the name of the variable, now the label is car class. So once you put in a color here, we're saying that we want to change the label. we put in the label for the color and change, then the change label is put inside the raster preview, right? And if we want to change some of the setting here, we can just use back the B1 here and then say, no, now we want to change the default into theme GRY, then we produce the GRY. Then the subtitle here is saying that change the subtitle from the default theme to this. So the same thing go for B3, we use a different theme, and B4 use for the line draw themes. And then we want to put all the fours into one output, we use the grid extra, so we must read in this library and then use a function in this library called grid arrange. Then we'll arrange it in a way that B1 followed by B2, B4, B3 and B4, and the number of columns is 2. So we can see that there are 2 columns here, so it's B1, B2, B3, and B4. So you can see that from here, this is the default theme. This is the theme, is called gray. We have a gray background, you can see the gray background here, and white grid lines, so the gray white lines is here. But you can see that these two teams actually, the default and the gray, doesn't make a lot of difference. So if we change it to BW, which is, they suggest is good for projector. Yeah, so that you can see that BW is black and white. So you can see that the black, white right here. So if we change the theme into line draw, so you can see the solid line here. So we have a back grid lines. So there's to say that once we specify a different themes here, we can get a different output with the same, by changing the default to this. So let's take a look at the light dark minimal to test here in next 2 slides. So you can see the one that is the light is actually same as a light grey, but with a gray lines and axis. So the line becomes gray. So if we specify the theme is theme underscore dark, then you see that there's a dark background here. If you prefer a dark background, then use this one. But we'll introduce a dark theme later on with another add-on package. So when we have this, then the label also change accordingly. So now you can see that most of the at least for these 4 themes, the label is on the right-hand side. Yeah, so the next one is minimal, as the things, the minimal, the word suggests, it have no background annotation. You can see that you can see the line, the graph is enclosed by the 4 lines here, but they move away, right? And for the classic theme, it just produce these 2 lines, but the other lines are disappeared. And there's no grid line there. There's no grid line. And for the last 2, one is the empty theme is even go to the other extreme. There's no X and Y. They also remove the X and the Y exit even if it is specified. And that's why it's an empty theme. So, and the test theme is just another one. Right? Another theme. Yeah, but this is ggplot. This is ggplot themes. So if you, when you say library bracket ggplot, we execute it, we get the 9 themes that we just went through. But there are some add-on packages. That means there are add-on packages is written to support just on theme or some other functions as well sometimes to the ggplot themes. So this package is called the gg themes. Consists of 22 themes listed here that produce different type of themes that change the font size, change the color, and change the position of the legend. So you can execute this, and you get the list of themes that's available in this package after installation of the. Let's go to the let's go to the R package. So in fact, we already execute this at the beginning. It's here, right? It's here. It's here. So we, in fact, we don't need to execute this. We don't need to execute this anymore. So there's an advantage of using whether you want to put it in front or you want to put it in back. Yeah. So that is a command to say that to list what is the theme for these 22 themes for this package. And if we execute this T2, which is the base, we get this for output. You can see that this economics theme will have a different color background and a different font size and also a different font type that is in contrast to others. Yeah. So that is how the GG themes is useful. I mean, if you prefer to have some other things that is that's very differ from the ggplot default theme, and also their add-on functions on themes, then one option is come into ggplot themes. So we shall not go through the rest. I mean, it's the same as you can just execute yourself. You can see the different output. We'll go back to the slide to take a look at all these things. So you can just execute until the end of the T22. We list all the 22 themes here. Yeah. So the T2 set the base by setting what is X, Y, color, font size, the font, the scattered font, the alpha, and the title and all that, right? So it's the same syntax and the same idea. We just need to add in the theme base. We'll get the theme base from this package GG themes to get the themes with its base. So that is another 1, 2, 3, another 3 themes that is available in the GG themes. Let's take a look at output. So this is the 4 outputs that is produced by these 4 themes. Yeah, so there's a theme base, theme CALC, theme clean, and theme economics. Yeah, so this is a light blue background with a different font size. Yeah, so this is still economics, but it's a white economics theme. This is probably an old Excel style format where I have a very clear horizontal line is input there with a gray background. And this is Excel new. They remove the gray background, but they add on the gray line. And that is a theme view. It is following the few practical rules of some graphics specification. And the side articles, which is the 538, I think is used by Python, one of the Python teams as well. And Foundation is a modern WordPress theme, which looks something like that. And the Google Docs, you're using Google Doc Charge, probably that is similar to the Google Doc Charge produced by Google Docs. And the high charge teams, I only found out this morning. The high charge team is a software library for charting written in pure JavaScript. So you're using JavaScript, probably this format will be closer to this high charge, but it's written in JavaScript. And there's another 4. There's a map. You can see that the position of the labels shifted from the right to here. So, but it covers the scatter plot. So if you don't like this, then do not use this particular theme. And then another 2 themes that is here. This one, the position, the plot for the scatter is become smaller. If you use this particular theme called theme path. Then another 2 themes here. Stories is a color system for code editor and terminal emulator created by this person. So if you want to use this theme, so, and then another alternate themes from here with a slightly different like the specification of the lines here. Here is width and this is without. And another theme is called Theme Solid. Themes is nothing other than a background color. So you can see they remove almost anything here, everything's here. There's no title, there's no subtitle, there's no label, and they even don't have the label for the legend. So that's another theme. So this is Stata is a software quite frequently used in the UK, Europe. Yeah, so that's, and probably I'm more interested in this one. Trump. Yes, and there's another team called the maximum data minimal ink team. There's no border, no exit line, no grid lines. If you have the intention to use the geometry of RUBs, that is to say, it produce the density here by a tiny little bar here. When you insert it, probably you do not want will be useful for using this thing because they insert without the specification of the X and the Y exit there. And probably the range frame, there's another geometry specification. That's to say they actually extend the X and the Y exit to include the minimum and the maximum values in the plot. And there's the Wall Street Journal team. You can see that the background here and the Wall Street Journal background is quite similar. Yeah, this is what I found this morning on this famous person here, highly related to the COVID-19 happened in America, right? So you can see that the caption here is quite big, and then they have dotted line here, and the legends become on top of it. So if you're using this theme, the Wall Street Journals, then you'll get this out results. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Today is about teams. So it's one team to another. Yeah. So to say that the add-on packages that can produce different themes without we personally specified what is the background, as what we've covered in the last workshop. We say that because the theme function can be specified of the font size, the colors, what we want to do with a specific titles, we can actually specify that using theme function, as we covered in the last workshop. But this themes, add-on themes, is provide you the default, so you don't need to think more about that. If you want to change certain part of it, then you using the theme function to change it. So there's a gray background theme that is in the basic theme in ggplot2. However, if we want to have a dark background, then we can use this package called ggdark. We have themes that is with a dark themes mode that is that we can use for using this add-on package. And the syntax to specify the themes is actually quite it's just to add in another 6 words. This is a DARK underscore. So if we're using a ggplot theme of gray in ggplot, then the dark version that is inside this package ggdark is just add dark underscore theme gray, right? And then the same for the rest of themes. Let's take a look at what is in the ggplot2. So I shall not go back to the R package. I think you can just run it. Yeah. So this is just to make a comparison of the one that generated using the ggplot and the dark versions. So you can see what is the comparison between the two. So T1 is the base to generate the basic, including the title, subtitle, and the X, Y exit and the label. So if we put in themes gray, we will get the result, the graph that is painted on the top. If we put in the dark theme version that is from the ggdark package, we get the one that is below. So you can see that it becomes a dark background, and the text is black in ggplot2 and turns into white color in the ggdark theme. Yeah? So the same thing, the line raw, if we do the line raw, that is the one on top is the ggplot2, and the one below is the ggdark, while all the text is turning from black color to white color. Yeah. So, and we'll show you some people might prefer the dark color though, but the default dark here probably is not as interesting as what you see here. But probably this one you'll find look better. Right? Yeah. So this is using the ggdark theme to show that reading 44. These are 44 add-on packages, and ggplot is one of them, right? And then they want to show that what is the version, whether in version 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can see that the 4 one is in purple. Purple? Yeah. So you can see that the ggplot2 have a is in this version. In version 4 already. Right? Yeah, it's a version 3, right? In version 3. Another one is ggstatplot is in version 0. Yeah. And then they also draw the lines here that how many of the R codes has been written for each of these add-on package. So the longer the bar is, they write a longer codes to build this particular package. As you can see that ggplot actually have quite a long, it's a long file with quite a numbers of R codes being written for this package.
Hi, Kiang. There is and I think one of our participants was saying that he's unable to load the version.
Oh, okay. I mean the version file, is it?
Maybe Jiajing, would you like to unmute yourself and then you would like to let us know? Oh, okay. He managed to got it. I think the version is in the wrong folder.
Oh,
You
okay.
need to change the path. Yeah.
Yeah. We will cover this shortly, right? We'll cover in these slides. Yes. Okay. In order to read in the files, we have to load in the package called library dplyr. Maybe I'll show you how the R files work first. Then I come back to this slide to have an explanation on this. Yeah, we'll skip the ggdark. Okay. The file is called version.csv. That is, after you download, you store into a directory that you want to read it from. Yeah. So to read, in order to read in this version.csv, we are using a command called read.csv. So let's say you store in directory D, then you put colon and then you backslash, then you put in the subdirectory here, like the one that I store is in this subdirectory, right? You can use it this way or that way. So you must put to, this is forward, ouch. This is a forward or backward slash. Yeah, so there's a slash, either you use it this or that, in order to read the files. And in between here is the subdirectory you store this particular file called version.csv. So in order to run the following route, to read in this CSV file. So let's then the forecast is another package that is to I'll back to the slide to explain this, but this is another add-on package to do with some data management on factor, right? Let's generate this first, and then you see that highlight this, then you get the output here. First is to execute this, then execute this to get some information about the files, and then the ggplot portion, execute this to get the output. Right. Now back to the slide. This is explain. The slide is to explain what is all this about. Yeah. So this is an example to produce a bar chart using the ggdeduct team to display how many codes has been written for the 44 add-on packages. Right? And this package is order package. Order the variable called package name by the number of codes written in ascending orders, which is this code. So before coming to that, let's take a look what is inside these files. So STL, after you read in the CSV file, you put STL version, you should be able to get there are 44 observations there because there are 44 package there, and 3 variables here is the package name, the code, and the major version. Yeah, after we read in the CSV files, the fact we first to convert the major version, this particular variable, into a factor. So if you generate string version before executing this, this is probably a numeric variable. So if you execute this factor, they'll turn this into a factor. A factor is more like a category of variables that is recognized by the R. Yeah. Then the dplyr is a data management package, and this is the data management package syntax. The version, read in the version and store back in the version, and create a variable called patch name that will take the patch name, reorder the patch name by the code in ascending order, and store it back to the same variable called patch name. I repeat that. It's too long a sentence to explain this. So this fact reorder is a function from the forcat to do the following function: to read in a variable in versions, which is called pack name, and then store back in the pack names. But what is doing this is we want to use the code and sort this code in order, and then in ascending order, descending order, because it said descending is true, and then store back to the same variable. That means override the variable. So when we display the version, is sorted in quotes. It's sorted in quotes. Oh, I'm sorry, I forget to on the laser. Yeah. So so this function fact order is from this package that use this variable and then store back to the same variable using the code, sort this variable by the codes in ascending order. The ascending order is good, true. This is ascending order is good. This is syntax for this particular function. So when we display the structure of this version, we see that there are 3 of them, 3 codes here. So there's no adding or deleting of the codes because we're just writing back the same code. And this also changed the code as well. So it's writing back the same code. And then we display the first 6 and the last 6, which is here. We can see that this code is in ascending order. In ascending order because we sort it. If we don't do this, that means it's not in ascending order. Then when later the charge here, it won't be in this order. So they'll be all over the place. Some short, some long. It's not in that order. So that's the purpose of doing this, you see. So in short, that our package, normally we don't use just one to produce something. So we want to doing something is on the package name, which is a factor, and we want to sort the factor. Then we use another add-on package to do the shuffling. This is quite usual in R. So the difficulty in R is know what package to load in order to put our programming more efficiently. So some of the things, but having said that, Google it is sometimes you get the answer. Yeah, so this is data management. So that is the data management part. This is the function to deal with factors. Then we use the function from factors here in order to sort according to the codes. Yeah. And after we have the versions, then we want to put the package name on the x-axis, the code on the y-axis, and we fill it with the major versions. And the Joe core is to produce a bar chart. The core flick is to put a vertical bar chart into a horizontal bar chart. Otherwise, we don't get this type of bar chart. We get a vertical bar chart. So this is to say, generate a bar chart, but it's a vertical one. That the third statement is saying that we do not want a vertical, change it to horizontal. And that skill field menu is another function to say that we want to specify the color as such. And this one will be covered in the next workshop about coloring. Those are not too familiar with color. It may seem that these are Greeks. Yeah, but what this is saying that this is standing for this color and the last one is standing for this color. You can always change this into a different colors. So this is specified the legend, the colors of the bars. Yeah. So and the next one is skill Y continuous, is to say that we want a comma. So you can see that the comma here. So it's 10,000 here, 20,000 is a comma. And the breaks is that this. That's why it breaks down here. Then you take the default break that is used by the R and put is and this, because we want to show that how many of the package, how many of this package actually have exit 20,000, exit 10,000, exit 5,000. So we'll add in the lines here. So that's the usual labs functions that specify what to put the title, X, Y, exit, the field, and the caption. Then this is where we use the duck team. And the duck team, we can always specify what is the font type we want to use. So that is the font. The font type is appear here using this particular font. And this is the theme that, we want to change what is inside the duck theme that is specified to the one that we prefer to override it. Just take, for instance, prop title is vertical adjustment 14. So that is positioned here. It might not be positioned here. Yeah. So it changed the vertical position of this particular title that is positioned here. Right. So the same thing go for subtitle, plot, and the plot margin is 4111. That is 4111 here. So and the rest are some of the things that is specified to produce the plots here. Yeah. So that means the more syntax you know, and in order to change to what we want to produce, then the R code will increase. So let's say if we are not too worried about the output that we are expecting to have produce this type of output, then it's simply that ggplot specify this. If you don't want to flick it, then all this will be off. Probably the title we want, Then we just specify duck theme and then just bracket it and then forget about it. Then we'll produce the default one, right? So it depends on how specific we want to change a plot to look like. Yeah, I think I proceed, right? Okay, yeah. So we have the duck theme, but we have some other themes as well, with another add-on package. The HRBR themes, it consists of 8 themes, 8 function themes here, which is stated here. We illustrate with one example using this theme. The data is getting from these particular books. I think we have one chapters on color. I don't think it touches on theme, but there's one chapter on colors. But we're getting from this book the data set. So we want to load the data, data from this. We have to call the library, and then inside there, there's one data frame that's stored in this particular library. It's called USBOPAG. We store 3 variables here: the year, the age group, and the population stored in 1000. If we take a look at the first 6 and the last 6, it is year 1990 all the way to 2002, and the age group is stored in factor, and that is the number, the population levels stored in 1000, they're stored in this particular data frame USPOPAG. What we're going to produce from this is an area chart here. Area chart here is something like a line plus segment. So each one is a line, and then each one is a segment here. You can see the pink color here is referring to those aged 64 and above 64. And the next one is the 55 to 64, which is printed in light orange and all the way up. So it's an area between the line segment filled with colors. So you can see the different colors filled with different age group here. And of course, area chart will be good if it's a good choice to see that the volume change over a period of time. You can see that the changes from 1990 to 2000, what is the population like for that particular age group? You can see that there's a growing for the pink, and then it's quite consistent for that another particular age group. So that shows that how old, why we're facing some aging issues here. Right? So area chart is good choice to see volume changes over time, and then comparison, the segment here, which is the age group here, right? Yeah. So one way to generate an area chart is the geo area geometry that we specified. So we specified the X and the Y as year and 1000, and the field is the age. Yeah. So and the using of the theme is theme IPSURC. RC stands for Roboto Condense, which is a specified font, a specific font type. Right? And then so this is the generate using the theme for this area chart. I think I will not go through the rest of the syntax. Yes. So there's another theme called the TV show. Probably you'll like this because I think they're more colorful. If you like colorful themes. Yes. As the name suggests, it's TV themes. You see. So their themes is based on Samsung, based on Brooklyn 99, Games of Thrones, The Last Airbender, and just another theme. And so there are 10 themes that are stored in this particular add-on package called TV themes. So this is the syntax of the TV themes. Let's generate this, then I get back to here. So this is how it looks like. There's avatar teams. There's a Brooklyn 99 teams. You can see it's quite colorful, right? So now we'll go back to the slides to see the rest of the teams. So these are 10 teams in the TV teams. So you can range from very yellowish here, orange base, and then blue, and so on and so forth. Having gone through these teams, add-on teams, in fact, you can create your own teams using what I call a function in R. So we'll not go through the syntax. It's just saying that this is one way you can do it. If you read a font of a particular colors, a particular fonts or whatsoever, then there's one way you can create your own function. So what we're to do is you give a name for the team, then followed by the function, and then followed by the function team. Then it's specified what is we want it for the teams. Because this is to say that we want a red team, everything in red colors. So the plot background is in pink color, panel background it is in pink too. So this is in pink, and that is a panel background is in, this plot background, panel background is pink and pink too. And then anything that specifies the colors is all quite a color. There's a colors that is related to pink or red. Then we want to use it with plot. Then instead of having the team that is in the add-on, like just now let's say the Wall Street Journals, we have to put the team underscore Wall Street Journal, right? JWS. We put in the name of the team that is already specified here. Then we'll generate this output. Right. And the same thing, we can always go back to the red team here, to generate a histogram, and then we can change it as well after we have specified teams. We'll produce the default one without any specification, that of the default output. If you want to change the field into file bricks or the colors in the salmon, there's a file bricks is what is field means it fill in the bars. The color is the borders, right? So we can also have a steel blue, and then the color is blue is the one that is the border of the histogram, right? The same thing, we can also go for the blue teams, everything that is related to blue. Then we'll generate something, a blank, this is a blank chart without any colors, without any geometry in it. The same thing, we can generate the blue teams. There's a default blue teams specified here. And if we put in the state, scatter plot into steel blue, then we change it to that. If we specify the 0 point is colored in red, then you turn to red colors. Yeah. So this is the last section on illustrating on the add-on packages. So we're seeing that wow, there's so many teams, there are so many. We can always create our own. But how about is there a GUI package to do that? I use this GG Teams Axis is the one that have GUI component. Yeah, but the thing is that I think it's not still not in a stage that is well developed. So if you we'll go through this and you'll see the specification of changing is GUI. You can just click and then you'll get it. But the thing is that when you put done, it doesn't. I still can't get away how to store the graphic output. If you know, you can let me know. But the way of doing it is read in the GG, this particular GG team axis, then specify what X and Y, let's say this is a scatter plot. The point you say will produce a scatter diagram. Then we use just a team that is BW. Then we give a title to it. We generate this G. That means this syntax will store this, is something like that, into an object called GG. Then we use the function that is inside the GG team axis, which is called GG team axis gadget. Then we put in here, you'll get this plot. Then we are able to change this plot by going through the GUI, right? So let's go to the how it generate now. So what we can do is after going this, we'll go to GUI, very shortly. So this will appear. Then you can just drag and say, I want to change the plot background, I want to change the black background, I want to change the grid minor, I want to change the grid major. And there's a box just lays down for you to change. Let's go to that. Let's go back to the our program. Okay, we generate this. You get this, right? So the GG is to generate the graph here. So if following the previous syntax, then you read in an add-on package, let's say TV themes. Then say, oh, we want to change the color and all that, in blue colors, in yellow colors, that is already in the GG themes, TV themes. Yeah, but if we execute this, because we already generated the GG here, we already generated the GG, then this is a function. This is a function is in this particular library. Then we just execute this. You'll get output that's like that. That will produce the default that we just seen in the R. That is this, the default one that we generated. That there's a plot. We can just change this. We drag this. Oh, I think we want something, that one. Color change. Then we come to here. Oh, fill panel background means here. Plot background means the one that just generated. After this one, I think we want a very navy color. Oh, that is probably is not too good. Then we get this one. Then this one is blank and become like that. Then the type here is solid. Color is green, and so on and so forth. So this is a GUI, a GUI that enable us to play around with this. Yeah. So this is what we call a panel and background that we have here, right? Let's go back to the so we have this. So under the panel and background, we can always drag and then specify the colors that we want. The plot backgrounds, which is here, and the panel background, which is inside here. The grid major and the grid minor is the grid major division grid lines, and the minor is the minor division grid lines. So we can specify whatever colors we want. Let's say for the plot background. So we will specify this and that. Then we'll change the color for the panel background for that, the plot background, and this color. So we specify this is a solid line, this is blank. We get the solid line here, and the minor background is not there. Yeah. But panel background is just one of them. There are another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels that we can change the default. So this is exit text, exit text X, Y, X exit, the thick of the exit, the setting, the label, the plot title, the exit label, the legend where you want to put on the right hand side, whether it's in vertical or horizontal, how the legend title, the legend text, the legend background, the legend key. Which is all the syntax if we use the function called legend, because it's specified line by line for each of the function here, right? Here is make it simple, just click. And subtitle, what is the family family type, family font type, and so on and so forth. Where is it positioned horizontally? 0, I think, is on the left. Right? Is that 0.5 is in the middle? So maybe we go back and see. Yep. Yeah, here, right? So when I click on exit, you come here, right? So this one we say, oh, we want a bookman. So the exit is mono, and the exit Y is and then Ganda, and so on and so forth. This is dashes, and this is dashes. Then you can move on to the title. You can move on to the legend. You can move on to the subtitle. Yeah. So this is how it's carried out. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is that you probably have to cut and paste from here, because there's no other things that is saying that when you click done, something will happen, but I don't have to click because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So let the user come up with another version, that an improved version. Then yeah. But it's available now. I think the direction of art is going on this direction, having more GUI type point and click. Yeah. So just to summarize, the ggplot give 9 ggplot themes. If you go for GG themes, there are another 22. If you prefer a dark background, then the dark mode is the GG dark. And there's another 8 themes, another 10 TV show themes. It's called the TV themes. Right? And for references, this is one website we can refer to. Another website for the themes, there's a website you can refer to. They'll give you all the list of the themes here as well. And there's another website that is there's a tutorial that talk about themes. Yeah. So you can just refer to this website and then get more information on the themes. These books has been shown in the last workshops. Yeah, so you can also refer to some files, but they have a color here, but there's no themes here for our graphical books. And I can't remember where ggplot had 2, but there's the latest version by Wickham, which is the original author for ggplot2. And then if you are doing Shiny, probably you can learn some ggplot2 here as well. And there's an example for the R data. It is a book in EAL NUS. So the stated ebooks is the one that you can actually download from the library. Otherwise, you have to go to the library to get the physical books. And these are books is online. Yeah. And I want to thank Matt and also thank Su Yun for the effort they put in and to make this workshop so that I can share to.
Right. Thank you, Kiang. Yeah, I think we have like journeyed along the way, from the overview, and then now going into the ggplot in these 3 parts, whereby we moved from the overview of our ggplot2 graphics in the past session, and we actually look at how we can modify graphical displays with your titles, your labels, and etc. Then now we actually move into a little bit more details on how we can make use of the ggplot theme system. So and then I think today Kiang showed us a little bit on the GUI, which is something very new to me. And I think, yes, I believe this is the way to go that is coming up for the future of R as well. So and then the next session, we will actually dwell a little bit more on how you can change colors for the R color, system, and then some of the color palette packages that to enhance the appearance of your graphs. Yeah, so basically this really marks the end of this session. We really thank you for your time, for spending this time with us. And then if you like, you can actually give us your feedback. And then I'm just probably going to share the slides. Most importantly, I really like to thank Dr. Tan for giving us his time to share this experience, and also your time in preparation for these workshops. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Madden has been very helpful all the while, and has been all the administrative and all that, and the administrative group has been helping in set up to make this this research Unbound possible.
Yeah. So we have a lot of questions on, where are the previous slides and videos. We actually gave you the link in the chat, so feel free to visit it at your own time. And thank you so much for spending time with us, your precious time. And I know in the midst of busy schedule as well. If we willing, we will see you next week for the next session. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Eddie, and a lot more that actually help us to share your experience during, in the chat. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Dr. Tan. Don't worry, we will be emailing everyone the recording of this workshop as well as the slides. So if in case you didn't manage to download it, just wait a day or two, and we will definitely email you the slides.